everyone.
How are we doing, everyone?
We're back. Many of you need to come a bit closer.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I have to lean in like this, guys.
So we're here today with a really special Back to School edition, and we've partnered with Oxford University Press to review some really kind of essential back to school books. So if you were worried about how to prepare your little one for whether they're starting school or they are going back to school, we've got everything to get them off in the right place. So, you know, hopefully you've sorted out all their uniform, their stationery and all of those things, and now it's about getting their books sorted. And the great thing about Oxford Press, so you can, they'll be joining us actually, but you can follow them at Oxford Children's, so you'll see them hopefully.
So make sure that you always, all the questions you have about the back to school collection or any sort of back to school items that we cover today, ask them in the question, because obviously Oxford will be actually following this at the moment, so they'll be answering all your questions. So you're right, Oxford. How are you doing?
Yeah, so they've really got all the essentials covered. The great thing about Oxford Press books is that they work in stages, and they go alongside the way most schools work in terms of reading levels and bands. And we'll probably get stuck in straight away in a couple of minutes, and we'll just give people another chance to join. So thanks everybody who's joined us so far. So yeah, keep those questions coming. Hello, hi. So we've got Kate from Oxford Press, and then we've also got Jen. So they're both there and joining, and we'll be here to answer any questions that you've got. So just a couple of things before we get started. So there are, as I mentioned, some really useful resources from Oxford Press. We've written a blog which we'll share with you. It's on our website, but there is an Oxford Owl reading test, which is a really great place to start if you're not sure about the stage that your child should be reading at. Every child is different, every child has different interests, but when it comes to their reading stages, I mean, you'll see in a minute, we're going to cover the the iconic Biff, Chip and Kipper series, which has been around for over 30 years now.
Wow. I learned about those when I was in school.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw the titles and saw the names, straight away nostalgia.
Yeah.
And these are the books I worked when I was growing up. So it's great to see that we're going to review them and see that your children will be, of course, learning from them too.
So before we kind of get into them, so we're starting to get a couple of questions already. So what stage for a 7-year-old? So I don't know if Kate and Jen, you want to kind of answer that, but we will cover that as well. So as I mentioned, they've got a sort of a reading test, and it's a really easy multiple choice 7 questions, which you do online, and it will just help you to work out which stage which stage books you might need. So we'll share all the information about that. Yes, this live will be saved, so don't worry, we'll make sure that everything is saved, and we'll post all of the books and all of the product codes and everything afterwards, so you can grab everything you need. We've got a special back to school collection on our website, so it's got everything that you need. Slight technical issue there.
It's okay, we're both okay. Oh god.
So we'll just so we've got a few of the you can see behind us, we've got a few of the different stages up there on display, so I'll be referring to those. But as you would expect, we'll start with stage 1. The books are getting excited. That's definitely the case. Yeah, they just want to come out of the pack. So I think it's also really worth mentioning here, and we'll put all of the prices as well, but you're getting a really sort of jam-packed collection. So the stages range between 16 and 24 books. So these are really great as well for if grandparents want to give them as a gift to children, or grandchildren who are starting school, or they just want to help the parents out. That could be a really good way as well. So I think we've got hopefully quite a lot of you here now. Don't forget, if you've got any questions about which stage your child should be at with the Oxford reading books, that kind of ladder or mirror rather the reading stages at school, then please let us know and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So I'll get started with stage 1. So there's quite a few.
Yeah, I believe there's 16 per pack, and the way they're packed.
This one is actually 24 to get started. Yeah, so this is a bit of a bumper pack, but the rest of them are 16. So
do you want to have those? I'll sort of showcase what's in this one.
Yeah, cool. So do you want to, if you're alright to open one up?
Yeah, of course.
So the main thing about Oxford Press, and the great thing about the way that their books work in the stages, is that they really focus on phonics. So if you're not sure about phonics, this is the sounds that we need to get our children reading. You'll see that there's lots of imagery in here to engage them and get them interested in the books. I mean, children of all ages will love reading anyway, but when it actually comes to teaching them how to read, there's this slightly different approach that we need to take. So Oxford University Press's books are lead with phonics. So in these books you'll find things like rhyming words, frequent sounds, using the common vowel and consonant sounds that we need in our everyday speech. So even if your child is talking, which I'm sure they are, plenty, I know my little one always is, using that interest and using the phonics when it comes to reading is the thing that's going to help them work through the stages. Alongside that, so even though they're learning, these stories have got some really sort of like, they are stories as well, so they've got sort of like fun kind of adventures where children won't feel necessarily like they're learning. As parents will know that we're trying to teach them phonics, but they won't feel, hopefully too much like they're learning, and that they'll enjoy it as well as being able to become readers. So
I must admit, while you've been talking about the books, I really enjoy how heavily these are illustrated, and they're really easy to understand, very clear and very child friendly as expected. So how they've done it in this particular book, which is the stage 1 phonics, floppies, fun phonics, is that they've done it as a jigsaw puzzle. So what the child will be indicated to do is to pair up the image with the allocated text. Just for example, the first page you have Dad is sad. So as you can see, there's a picture of Dad on his chair, and then he spilled some tea like a wally. So in that case, obviously it'd be quite clear to the child that Dad is sad will be the one where he spilled his tea.
Yeah, and that engaging and element side of it is really sort of natural. It's not forced upon, and they'll start to do that, and they'll feel quite sort of rewarded. Towards the end of the books as well, you've got
exercises.
You've got different exercises, and there's lots of tips in here for parents. So I think that there can be, I know certainly from my perspective, my son's going to be 3, and we read a lot, but for him to become an independent reader and to start to learn his phonics, these books are really helping me out, because you need somewhere to start. So getting some funny comments in there. So there's lots of tips in here. Hopefully you can see. Oh, I'm not doing this right, the mirroring thing. Am I? Am I doing it right now?
Yeah, no, okay,
there
okay. You're okay.
So there's lots of tips in there for parents about how to approach these, and once you've found your kind of flow, and so is your child, then you'll have no problem working your way through these books. So there's lots and lots of advice from Oxford University Press in these about how to read with your child and how to get them to grasp the phonics that they really need.
I think one thing I really enjoy throughout all these books is the consistency and the continuity of all the characters they use. So the Biff, Chip and Kipper are used throughout all of the books, and it establishes a bridge of familiarity between the characters and your child. So they'll understand straight away that it's quite fun, rather than having a block of text and just random pictures. These are all consistent characters which are showcased throughout all of the books, and I think that's a really nice little thing. And they're very charming illustrations. I think they're really nice, and you can see a lot of friends in them. They're quite friendly.
general, and there are some more talking points at the back as well. So you can ask. So the way I would do this with my child is I was sort of saying what happened at this point in the story, who did this happen to, what happened, which character did this, and that kind of thing. So there's some of those activities at the back. And they're not all the same as well. So just looking at another one, this is Win a Nut, so that's a different story. And there's more sort of there's like mini sort of word searches. There's different things and different activities and do. So yeah, we love chicken kipper too. So there's different things that they can do, and it's a really nice sense of reward as well for children. So for my little one, we've got a reading reward chart. So it just has like a sticker for a couple, and then once we've sort of worked our way through different sort of levels or sort of stages, or even if we've read through a book, he might have a little extra treat. So that's nice. There's plenty of guidance on here, and I'm just going to show you the back covers as well. So Oxford have this really sort of cute kind of mascot, the owl, and and you can use as we mentioned, there's a reading sort of test. Yes, Isabel, they are really great books. And there's a test which you can do online, and it takes you all the way up to stage 6. So
just to clarify with the Oxford Owl test, I wasn't too familiar for it myself. I was looking at some books, my niece, who's going to be going to school, and looking at the stages, I initially thought it was all to do with ages. So Oxford Owl is a website that it basically helps you understand where your child's at in their reading level. So there'll be 7 questions on the website, and it's all written very well, very informative, and it's all multiple choice. So there's no reason for you to sort of panic and say, oh, maybe my kid's not like this, maybe my kid's not like that. It's really easy to understand, and I find it really easy to sort of navigate and understand. Okay, for my niece, she was stage 3, so straight away got the books for her, and she's absolutely loved them ever since. So it's I'd highly recommend, if you're not familiar with the staging system, to go straight to oxfordowl.com. Is it .com or .co.uk? .co.uk. And go through their questions, and it's fantastic. It's really easy to navigate, and once you've got your stages, you can crack on and get some the books. Yeah, no, that's true. There's lots of, as well as on the test, there's lots of practical advice on there. And sort of ebooks and more activities. So if you wanted to do, more activities that are just, oh dear. More excitement on the books, guys. Right. More excitement. We've got a couple more sets to go through. So that's the stage 1, and then it continues all the way through to stage 6. So as we said, they come in multiples of packs there, so you've got enough to keep children going, and once they've completed each stage, and what each stage will tell you as well is the level that your child is at. So stage 1, for example, is I'm starting to use letter sounds to read simple words, and each stage will tell you where children should be at. So that's stage 1, and as I mentioned, we'll post all of the books and all of the stages after this live. So I'm just going to move on to a couple of other books that we've got. So there's a couple of other collections that we wanted to really share with you guys. So as well as the different stages, and the kind of method and approach for all of the stages stays the same. So as Miller was saying earlier, your child will soon become quite familiar with it, and they'll be working their way through those stages in no time at all. But if you want them to have a little bit more fun as well, this is a really great bumper pack, and as I said, it's about sort of giving them a bit of reward or a little bit more fun. It's continuing on the stories, but this is a little bit more activity led, so it's learning as well. Great for back to school, great to give them a little bit more of a push or a boost at home. Still enforces those really important reading levels from Oxford University Press. But in more of a kind of activity format. So if your child loves doing sort of like activities, puzzles, that kind of thing, then they'll love these. This is a pack which might be great for your niece or for children that you've got at different ages, because you've got stage 1 activities in there, you've got stage 2. And then you've got stage 3. So do these come individually as sets, or all one set? This is one pack. So this is one set. So that
once you buy it for a child, then you're sorted. So as they finish stage 1, they could do the activities. As they finish stage 2, then they could do the activities and so forth.
Brilliant.
I'll have a look at stage 3 because we've looked at kind of stage 1 already, so we'll move it up a little bit.
Do you want to look at stage 2 instead?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's do that. We'll look at stage 2 and stage 3. So again, there's lots and lots of advice in here, but I'll just open one up for you. Again, it's still following Biff, Chip and Kipper and Floppy the dog in these exciting stories. Lots and lots of phonics activities here and lots of practice, and there's stickers as well.
There's a lot of stickers. And I think Oxford have said a really good point there, that these are fantastic for not only English but for maths as well. There's some fantastic...
So I'll just show you. So they're a little bit more kind of activity led. So the illustrations are not too dissimilar to what we've seen in the other books, but I'll just kind of work my way through. You can see there's also actual activities for them to complete here, and those will be based on what they've seen through the stories, and just kind of giving them an extra chance to reinforce what they've learnt.
I think the biggest point here, as someone who, when I was younger, I didn't really enjoy doing a lot of work, and I didn't like the feeling of doing homework. These are very informal, very fun. You don't feel like you're working. There's a lot of illustrations, there's a lot of drawing involved, and there's a lot of colours. And I think from a child's point of view, that's very appealing, and it's quite fun, to be honest. And
they're very much in line with what your child will be doing at school. So each stage, as I said, mirrors what your child should be or doing in school. So, and they are really lots of fun. They're really colourful, engaging, interactive, but they're learning at the same time.
Yeah,
so they won't feel
That's a really nice.
So I'll just show you another one in stage 2, and then let's have a look. And then at the end, I thought this is really nice just to share. Hopefully you can see.
I was just about to say the exact same thing.
They've got a nice certificate there, so they can say that they've worked their way through.
I think what would be quite cool is to get them to sign it. So at the back, just as Justine just mentioned, they get certificates. So what would be quite cool is if you get your niece, nephew, or your kid to sign it just there, and you can date it, chop it out. And I was a bit of a nerd growing up, so all of my certificates were kept in a folder, and I still have it to this day, even my 100% attendance. So stuff like that, it's a sense of accomplishment for the children to know that they've actually done this. And I think it's quite important that they feel accomplished, like they've done this. And it's so effortless for them, it's so fun, that to be thanked for something that was fun, it sort of reinforces that confidence in them, I think. That's really important.
Some really nice comments here. Yeah, children do love certificate. Oxford saying we're all about the stickers. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a really nice reward for children. So that's great. Should we just quickly have a look at stage 3 as well? Yeah. Right. So again, as it carries on, parents will be able to see that these are moving on a level, and children will be able to see it as well. But it's not in a way that's overwhelming. It's really gradual, and it's still enjoyable. So as you'll be able to see here, this sort of the main layout and everything remains the same, but there will still be, here's the double page of stickers. Can't forget
so many stickers, I love it.
But you'll see that it's moving up a level, and it follows again what children are doing in school. So the tasks will be slightly more in depth, slightly harder, but still practicing their phonics. So great.
Yeah, that is really nice. I think there's a very clear sort of change in difficulty within these books, especially from the jump between stage 2 to stage 3. Obviously, when your children are ready to make that jump, it'll become clear to you, especially from me just flicking through these as Justine was speaking, that the tasks are a little bit more tricky, but they're tailored around that reading level. So
and you'll be doing it together with your child.
Yeah.
So you'll be there to support them, coach them, not give them all the answers, but give them that sort of push that they need.
Sort of guidance.
Exactly, definitely. So yeah, in this pack then we've got stage 1, stories and activities, so there's 2 there. Then we've got stage 2, and there's 2 there.
And so each of the stages that we sell on the website, so these obviously we get as a total pack, so you get stage 1, 2 and 3. There'll be 2 booklets per stage.
Yeah.
And obviously it just prepares your children for when they go up in the stages, rather than you having to buy it again and again and again, all in one go, keep them aside and just work through them and obviously help them through. And I think, especially where kids are going, this may be me rambling, but with how obsessed children are with technology, I think it's a nice little break.
Hold on, we've got an exclusive. Stop, everybody. So Oxford Children's have just said Big Chip and Kipper is soon to be on BBC. So these...
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's incredible news. So thank you guys so much for sharing. So kids are going to love to have these books and be able to see it on TV. So that's fantastic news. And hopefully, I think that's going to be on this autumn on CBBC. So watch out for that. That's really exciting news.
I think especially having now, going back to my original point of having the consistent characters, to now animate them with a voice, they'll feel a brand new connection with them, with the characters. They'll bring them to life. They'll be voicing, when they read things, the speech bubbles, they'll be voicing it in their heads with how the TV show will be doing. So that is... Guys, that's brilliant, that. Well done to Oxford.
Big news, thank you, yeah. I think parents and kids are going to love that. Definitely be tuning in. So yeah, and then they can follow up with the books on CBeebies. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, some really great give some really great feedback and excitement about that. So that's great news. Okay, great. So that's that. We've covered quite a lot of the sort of younger stages and ages as well. There's another collection by Oxford. Yeah, so we'll take that. We tried to just show a sort of broad sort of mix. Yeah, we're really excited. That's going to be really cool. So watch this space. Any updates? Please follow Oxford Children's.
Yeah,
they'll have all of the updates, and we'll be sharing that as soon as we find out more. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay.
So what have we got here then?
So moving on next to the bond assessment papers. So if your child is preparing for their 11 plus exams, Oxford Press have got the exact method, approach and practice papers that children need in really sort of bite-sized formats to help them prepare. So although they're called the 11 plus exams and they're called the 11 plus books and it's the programme, the books to help children prepare actually start from age 5 to 6. So I just want to show you there. Oh, I'm not very good at this. Right, here we go.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, so as you can see here on the very edge of the spine, all the ages are there. So what has been highlighted is the allocated age. Oh, that's me in the background. So it'll go up in size. So it's very easy to follow, and it's very easy to be indicated which books are best suited for your young ones.
Yeah.
So you've got English, you've got maths, non-verbal reasoning and verbal reasoning. I've said that, not shown you. So I'll say that again.
Yeah.
You've got English, you've got maths, you've got non-verbal, non-verbal reasoning, and your verbal reasoning. And the beautiful thing about these is that they're all colour-coded. So if you were to go to the older ages, that you can still, say if you wanted to just focus on math, for example, say if your young one was sort of struggling with maths and doing really well with the rest, you can still stick to the red books and go up in the ages. So yeah, should we have a look a bit deeper into them?
Yeah, definitely. So these will be everything that children need. So we can focus on, and it is great preparation for back to school, because even if you just want your child to do a little bit more at home, it's never it's never too early to start prepping. And these are really, really subtle, gentle ways to do it. Even if your child just spends sort of 10-15 minutes doing it. So are there books like this for Key Stage 2? Yeah, so as we just sort of mentioned, sorry about that, Stephanie, they're all different ages. They're all different ages there. So we've got all of those, and we'll share all of the information afterwards. I'll do English because that's all right.
You sure? Do you know what? I do maths, guys.
You do maths.
I enjoyed maths. I really enjoyed maths back in school.
You start.
I'll start things off. So having a flick through these, what you'll have, how it's all laid out is you have a couple of pages of questions. I'll come a bit closer for you guys, so apologies for the high quality of the camera and how I look. You have to have to make it clear, it's very easy. So it's straightforward, the questions are there, it's all black and white, and it is quite informal as well, so you have all the illustrations rather than when it comes to the later stages at A-level and GCSE, it'll just be straight questions. The one really nice thing about this is that not only is there multiple papers within this book, but the answers are here. So for the parents, and I'm sure when I'm a parent myself, there'll be questions which I won't be able to answer or spend time trying to figure out. The answers are already there for you, so you can actually do the corrections and mark the paper for them right in front of them while they chat. So I think it's a nice little way to have a bit of a break. Because what we used to do when I was growing up is to go to school, come home, watch a bit of TV, have dinner, and then do a bit of work. So have a bit of work like this, it just keeps the cogs turning, and it just keeps them informed really, especially if you want to be cramming up to the exam period, which a lot of people tend to do. But it's something little like this, and every single day, I could probably spend half an hour or an hour each evening, will definitely improve their grades.
Give them the support that they need.
Exactly.
And as I think Millen's saying, it's quite bite-sized, so each all the books are the same in terms of the format, but you can see there's different papers. So that's paper 1, and then you'll just and that's just 2 pages, and then it goes straight onto paper 2. So even if, as you were saying, you come home, you have a bit of tea, you have a little bit of a break, but you manage to get through one paper, or your child manages to get through one paper, that's great, and that's giving them that extra little bit that they need. And as we've said, in this pack you get all 4, and we try and bundle everything so you can get the full pack. But it could be that your child just needs that extra little bit in English, so you might want to focus on that, or it's maths. But then if they are taking the 11+ exams, it will be the verbal and the non-verbal reasoning as well. Also, Kate's just saying from Oxford University Press also that the older in the titles you are, give more detailed answers to help parents. Yes, definitely. Because they'll need those. There are the answers there, but also what's really important is you'll be able to see there's lots of information here about exam success, but then also a progress chart for each book, so children can see where they're at and how they're doing, and so can parents as well. So it's really useful for both, so everybody can see which level they're at, how they're doing, and how they're progressing. Each page will ask parents to mark the questions as well, so children can see how many questions they're getting right.
I think also quite. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I was gonna do a little test for everyone.
Oh gosh, not
I must admit, guys, we're gonna realise how
maths.
How little we know. Oh, this isn't maths. You know, let's do maths actually. That's quite a fun one. So let me pick a question. Oh, so it's actually it's pretty straightforward. So, guys, what is 39 minus 4? So stuff like that. It's straight away. You can write it down.
But there's different types of questions.
It's not just that. It's not just that. Yeah,
so if we just show you this page, there's lots of different types of questions, and there's even sort of like using coins. There's lots of real life practical.
I think what's quite a fun one here actually is, especially for all of us, obviously the British guys, is bringing what's it called? What's that? I can't speak today. Draw a circle around the most valuable coin, and it's something like that, which isn't obviously directly math related. Well, it is directly math related, but it's good to keep their heads engaged with these sort of things, not just to have addition or subtraction and multiplication, division. It's sort of diversifying the sort of questions that they come across, and especially for a 5 to 6 year old, these are big things they'll need to learn. So teaching them early as possible is really, really good.
Yeah, and I hate maths, says Isabel. The thing is, children won't. They'll be at that age, and starting from age 5 to 6, like these books do, will just give them the great stepping stones that they need. Every child has different subjects that they're that be their favourite or things like that. But this is not about loving or not loving a subject. This is just really about giving them the support that they need, and mirroring what they're doing at school, and just helping them, give them the prep that they need. So and like I said, they're broken down into papers. They're about 2 pages per paper. Everything can be marked and it can be done together, and it's really proactive and encouraging rather than being kind of something that they have to do. It's really sort of natural, and getting them on board really, and giving them that extra boost. They are focused, as we mentioned, on the 11+ exam, so if your child's going to a grammar school or private school. But having said that, and Kate from Oxford Press is just commenting on here as well, children from all ages can use these, and regardless of whether they are attending that school, they're not alienated to that. It is just about practice, real life practical skills, as we've shown, across the kind of core subjects or topic areas that children will need. So,
should we say those in hands?
Yeah, so that's starting from age 5 to 6, and then they keep going up. So we're sort of just coming a bit towards the end of our life, which has just gone incredibly fast.
Yeah, we've actually flown through this.
We've flown through. One thing that we've probably held till the very last, as we do, is that we have got a back-to-school bundle to give away. So if you're already following us on Instagram, and if you're not, then you better be, because we've got a jam-packed Oxford University Press bundle for back to school to give away that will include some of the items that you've seen today, some of these really cool exclusive phonics flashcards as well. And one thing that I've not mentioned is that the packs that you've seen, so the stage 1 that we showed to you at the beginning, and some of the other stages, if I just, so this is a stage 4 pack, for example, they come in these really nice cases, which we've not mentioned, so all of the books can be really well looked after.
And not to mention that,
these are
obviously I'm sure your kids will hate me saying this, but if you've got an exam coming up and go on a holiday, even if it's a staycation or vacation, they're really portable. So you can keep it straight away, keep it in the rucksack, and while you're in a car journey, wherever you're going, give them a pair, and I'll keep them occupied for
especially because there's activities as well to do in the other one, so that's really good.
And I'm sure there'll be some parents in the comments laughing at me for saying that, thinking, what makes you think that we're keeping their attention on that? But guys, try it.
There's just a couple of questions that I'm going to try and answer here. So there's just a comment here from Sian May. My son is a little bit also behind rather because of lockdown and COVID. I've lived the lowest age set. Yeah, so that might be a common sort of feeling for parents, and that's why we'd really encourage you to take the Oxford University Press the Oxford Owl test online.
Yeah.
So we'll share all of the details for that. But even starting them off with stage 1, seeing how they get on, practice those phonics, and because they've made the books so fun and enjoyable, your child they'll be whizzing through them in no time at all, and then on to the next stage. So if you're worried about children catching up, just have a go, log on, do that sort of test, and you'll be really easily guided. So parents don't need to worry. There's plenty of resources and support out there to get them back to school. Is there any books that you would recommend for autistic with little speech? So I don't know if Oxford Press want to help us out with this particular question. Jen or Kate, if you're there, it would be great. But what we would really recommend is just keep practicing. It's because these books really focus on phonics for children who might have sort of learning difficulties or special circumstances, whether it's autism or anything like that. Just the practice and being engaged with these books, because they are so. I'll just open the next sort of one as well, because they are still so engaging and colourful and lovely stories to read. I'm sure that parents who have got children with sort of autistic background or learning with speech difficulties will still be really big advocates of these books. So just we'd still recommend them. If not, we can follow up with you for some follow up afterwards. I think Jen has kindly answered. So yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Jen. That's great. So as I was saying, these packs are exclusive to us, so you won't find them anywhere else. Your best bet is to get online, stock up. So those big bumper packs that we showed you of 24 books and 16 books, these are exclusive to Bookstore. So if you were to go and look for them anywhere else, you won't get them in these big bumper packs and bumper sizes. So please make the most of those. And we have got, we'll just pop that down so we don't.
Yeah.
We have got a bumper pack to bumper back to school bundle to give away. So all you need to do is follow us. So we're going to post this on Instagram Live as we always do.
And I think for this week, what we'll do is to prove that and sort of show off that you watched today's live. What we want you to do is comment your favourite subject at school. So when we finish this, we'll post it as a post.
Not your favourite person.
Not your favourite person, your favourite topic at school. So in my case, I loved maths. Jazz, what did you like? What was your favourite?
I quite liked history when I was younger, and geography, but then I did my degree in English, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, mine was maths. So comment below when this goes live as a post your favourite topic, your favourite subject.
Yeah, and then we'll pick a lucky winner, and we'll have that back to school bundle off to you in no time at all, so your child can have everything they need to get ready and start the new term. So yeah, a couple of things. So we'll post this now. Please comment with your favourite subject and we'll pick a winner. Please follow Oxford Children's and have a look at the Oxford our reading test online, because that will really help with working out the stages for your children, which mirrors what they're doing at school. And the brilliant thing about these Oxford books is that they really focus on phonics and helping your children become independent readers, and that's what we want. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll be back again next week.
Yeah, next week, yes. And we'll be back next week. So thank you all so much for watching, and a special thanks for Oxford University Press for helping us, teaming up with us today on this week's episode of the Book Club. So,
see you later, everybody.
See you guys in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.